Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for next trading week of November 28th through December 2nd, where we'll talk about what our top swing trading stocks to watch based on our market analysis strategies, trade ideas from part 1. Thank you all for joining us for the live stream. Flip of the Shippo, Walter Lyons, the Blind Trader. If I missed anybody, thank you again for joining us. I hope you're all having a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Got some time to relax, spend time with your family, decompress, and get ready for another trading week. So we'll kind of take the next sprint between the holidays and see how much money we can make. So. Let's get started. And again, we'll talk about, what our top swing trading stocks to watch on a various watch list for next trading week, November 28th through December 2nd. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for next week. And again, you should be able to find a link to this Google document with these notes in the description box below. It's got additional links to additional videos, tools, etc. And it's publicly accessible. We store these game plan notes in a public Google Drive folder. So again, you should be able to find a link to that folder in the description box below, so you can go back and get links and additional references to previous trading ideas, strategies, etc. So if you have not already seen part 1, Cyber Monday stock market sales, I highly recommend you view part 1. It's got our market analysis, our trade idea strategies that we're applying for this week, and how we're going to find cyber market stock market sales for this week. So I'll quickly go through just some of our trades for this week. As you'll see, quite a few of them have to do with option strategies that we've been testing with cash secured puts. And I'll talk more about that strategy in more detail at the end of the video, and also just the option strategies that we're currently employing and testing, and some of the pros and cons in those option strategies. So you could see we had sold a cash secured put on Disney at the $86 strike price. Right now, all the cash secured puts we're selling, we're just doing a month out. I may look into extending that, but again, we just started doing this, selling cash secured puts and then buying them back and collecting the difference in the premium. So you see, we sold it on the 22nd, bought it back on the 25th, and made a small profit. Again, the strategy with selling these cash secured puts in general is we'll sell them and then buy them back cheaper and keep the difference in profit, and then rinse and repeat. Just stack cash. Just keep doing this over and over and stacking cash. So that was our Disney. On Realty Income, we sold 3 cash secured puts at the $60 strike price. Again, December 16th expiration on the 23rd. And again, when O goes back up, we'll try to buy those back and collect the difference in the premium and rinse and repeat. The other major trade we did this week was we went long USOI, which is the monthly dividend paying ETN on oil. And when oil took the big plummet, we bought USOI on the 21st at $81.99. You see it's paying, right now the dividend yield's in the 40%, and it pays monthly. I wanted to get that and start collecting that monthly dividend. We saw oil did decline even further, but again, I'm keeping this for the dividend, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. And I also had previously sold a cash secured put on BTI at 175 strike price. We sold it on the 18th, bought it back on the 22nd, collected a small profit in the difference in premium. And again, that's another one we'll rinse and repeat. And I had previously sold the covered call on yen at 65 strike price for the January 2023 expiration. I sold it on November 4th, bought it back on the 25th, again, collected a small profit. And again, our two option strategies we're employing right now is selling covered calls and selling cash secured puts, both of which I can do in a retirement account. And again, our strategy is to sell them and then buy them back cheaper and keep the difference in premium and just rinse and repeat this over and over and stack cash. So I hope that helps. So a quick jump over to Webull. Again, you can see here's our Disney trade. You know, we had previously bought Disney. We had been previously long Disney. We got stopped out when it dipped, and then it ran up a little bit. So we, sold and made the profit on a cash secured put on Disney. And we sold some cash secured puts on O, and we'll buy those back when they become attractive, cheaper. Here's our USOI trade. Let me see, what date did I get in? Got in on the 21st. So here's the 21st. There's that dip on the 21st. So we got in when it dipped. And again, we're holding on to it. You can see it kind of cross through that support line again. But again, we're holding on to USOI for the dividend on. It should go ex-dividend again around December 18th. So if you're interested in collecting a pretty nice monthly dividend, there's still opportunities to get in USOI. Oil's still sitting, pretty much at its low. Let's see what crude's sitting at right now. It's 76.55, so it's pretty low. It did dip into the 75s, but again, right now it's 76. If you listen to Kramer or other people, there is the expectation that oil is going to run back up into the winter, into the end of the year. So we'll see. But again, it's a nice monthly dividend. Again, we're selling cash secured puts on BTI when it goes down, and we'll also sell covered calls on yen when it goes up again. So we still have that position in yen, and we'll just churn covered calls and keep stacking cash on that. Okay, so got a couple lessons learned. I think last week I mentioned that as part of getting into these option strategies, I've created some watch lists in Webull, so I can track those that I'm wanting to sell covered calls on or sell cash secured puts on. I thought this was a nice idea. It makes it really easy to jump over to Webull, and I can just look at, okay, if I want to see how things are doing in my cash secured puts, I can jump over to that watch list. I can see the little spark line. Okay, is it moving up or down? I want to sell cash secured puts when it's going down. I want to buy them back when it's going up. So again, I'd be looking at Disney at that time, not at O and VTI, because they're going up. So I thought that was a helpful tip. Hopefully that helps you all as well. The other one I learned on, I guess it was Friday, I learned this with our position in pets, as I have this position in pets and Fidelity, and I had been manually moving my stop limit order up as it had been going up, and then it dipped down through my stop limit order and it didn't execute, and I was waiting for it to execute. I thought, well, maybe Fidelity's just slow in updating the orders, and it had been executed, and it just didn't update in the brokerage account online. And what I learned is that stop limit orders may not be executed even though the stock price drops below the stop limit price, at least in Fidelity. And I copy pasted out their explanation that stop orders are triggered off a round lot transaction of 100 shares or greater or a print in security. And I posted this also in our Discord, so you can read this in the notes in more detail as to why may your stop limit order not have been executed even though the stock price dropped below the limit price. And I also included the link to that Fidelity information. I have not seen this problem previously in like Webull. But again, that was something I learned on Friday, and I posted this also in the Lessons Learned channel in our Discord. Our Discord, again, is free to join. You can find a link in the um, description box below, as well as on our homepage in the link section, etc. I'll show you that in a second. But again, I also posted this information in this link there. So again, lesson learned. Keep an eye on your stop limit orders. Even though the price does drop through the stop limit order, it may not execute for that reason, and you may want to manually go ahead and execute that sell. People talk about using mental stops instead of real hard stops. Again, I have a tendency to use actual stops so that if I'm away from the desk, on the beach, wherever, my expectation would be that it would have executed and I would have gotten that price. And in this case, I didn't. So I've had to manually move that stop lower. But again, just a lesson learned that if you see a stock going through your stop limit price, you may want to go ahead and manually execute that if you wanted to take profit at that level, which is what my objective was. So again, you can find an invite. We welcome everyone to join our Discord. You can find a link, an invite in the description box below. Also on the links section of our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. You can find the invite to our Discord as well as our Facebook group. Again, all these are free to join. Also tools, platforms, additional resources, etc., all in the link section on our homepage as a quick reference to help you navigate quickly. So I hope that helps. If anyone else has seen this in other brokerage firms, please let us know. Again, I have never seen that in Webull before. This was Fidelity was the only one there that I have seen that occur thus far. And yes, let me see if I can grab Walter's comment. That's another important thing to know is stops currently are not executed in extended hours. So they're not active. They don't get executed regardless of what the price does in pre-market or after hours. A stop won't be executed, and something else to watch out for is when the market does open. If the price is below your stop limit order, it probably won't execute even once the market opens because the price is already below that limit price. So in those cases, you either sell if you think it's going to keep going down, or you can cancel the stop as it may get triggered if the price comes back up in open market and hits your limit order. The stock may be moving up and it may trigger your limit order because it finally hit the limit price. So it's good information, Walter. Yeah, thank you for reminding us about that as well. So now let's talk about our watch list updates for our real-time watch list for this week, and then I'll jump over to Webull and we'll look at the charts. One we've had in our bullpen for a while, and I'm going to put in the game, move it up to our real-time watch list, is BDRY, dry bulk shipping ETF. Again, we've been watching it. It looks like it's approaching a support level at the price that we've been watching. So we're going to keep an eye on that. If it stabilizes that support, swings back up, we'll go long on dry bulk shipping using BDRY. Still watching Disney. We added it back to the watch list after we got stopped out. I don't really expect it to come back down after Bob Iger took over from Chapek. They're making a lot of changes, etc. But I don't really expect it to come back down where it would be as attractive as it was when we went long again. But if it happens to, we would go long Disney again in the area that we bought it before, in the 80s, around 90. Below 90 is probably a good price. Yesterday we talked about the financial industry and how it's been running up, and I think that it might be reaching a top, and we're looking at shorting the financials using FAZ, which is a 3x leveraged inverse ETF on the financial sector. So as you see, once that bottoms and turns back up, that would indicate the financial sector has peaked and turned down, and we would like to go short financials because, again, I think that's kind of maxed out. All the money's flowed in there for quite some period of time. And welcome, David Spielvogel. Thank you for joining us for part 2. Nagam, glad to see you all here today as well. Again, just a quick reminder, none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. This is for education and hopefully some entertainment value only. So as you'll see, we're going to take OPP. This is that fixed income bond fund we've been watching for a while. It ran up. I thought last week of taking it off since it had already started running up, and now it's pretty much run away. And I'm not going to chase it. If it does come back down, you can see it does offer a nice percent dividend. I was hoping to get it cheap, and it's run up. Seagate, we've been talking about for a while. We had it in the bullpen for a while, and we moved it up to the real-time watch list on the end of October, and we're kind of keeping an eye on that. It's, again, a little higher than where I would like it. USOI, we talked about, we're already long, but I think, if you are interested, there's still an opportunity to get in USOI. You'll still get the dividend for the next month. It went ex-dividend on November 18th, so you won't get it for November. You would get it for December. And then we talked yesterday about the VIX volatility, how it looks like the VIX is, dropping. It's near 20. Last I looked, it was about 20.55. Let's see, it's 20.50 right now. And wherever the VIX bottoms, we would like to go long UVXY. We're just waiting for the VIX to bottom somewhere below 20. Right now it's continuing to retrace. So you watch the VIX rather than UVXY, because UVXY is going to continue to decline just due to decay. It's a leveraged ETF. So watch the VIX in terms of deciding when to go long UVXY. When the VIX bottoms somewhere below 20, it goes to 18, 16, that would be great, ahead of the Fed interest rate decision on the December 13th, 14th. Wherever that VIX bottom is, that's where we want to go long the VIX using UVXY going into the Fed interest rate decision, and we'll just hold it waiting for that volatility caused by the events around the Fed interest rate decision in the middle of December. So we'll go ahead and we'll talk about, we'll look at the charts for the stuff on our watch list. Just a couple quick reminders. We talked about our trade alerts for the trades that we make in terms of stocks. And if you would like to get those alerts real time, our Patreons have get notified as soon as we make a trade, get stopped out of a trade. I try to send those notifications out as quickly as possible to our Patreons. They also have access to an automatically generated watch list web page, which gets updated at the end of each day, and also a stocks watch list channel in our Discord. And you can find a link to our Patreon in the description box below if you would like to get real-time alerts and or intra-week. And even if I make a change during the day, then I would also post that in the watch list channel in our Discord that I will show you in a moment. So the alerts channels, we've got a couple of them. One is automatically triggered by my price alerts in Thinkorswim. So when those get triggered, then it automatically posts to the Thinkorswim alerts channel. And then if we actually follow that up with a trade, then I would update it with the actual trade we made, or when we get stopped out, you can see I post that in the Thinkorswim alerts channel. And if it's not related to a Thinkorswim alert, like you can see some of the options trades that we're doing, I'm posting in just the trade alerts channel. So again, if that would help you succeed in your trading, if you join our Patreon, again, you'll get access to all of the alerts and the daily watch lists, etc. So now we'll go ahead and we'll look at our watch list. Grab a drink a sec. Okay, so here is BDRY. So as we mentioned, we've been had it in our bullpen. The support level we're looking for is around that 675. You can see it. That's the previous bottom. It's gotten close recently, bounced up just a little bit. So if we get just a little bit of a retracement, we would go long BDRY. Again, it's got, it's been coming down for a long time, got plenty of range up into the 26s. So, massive risk reward. And this is very cyclical. Dry bulk shipping price, they're very cyclical. So again, we'll try to go long using BDRY or around that 675 level. Disney, we'd love it to get it down below 90, somewhere in this 85 area, but it's bounced up when they announced the change in CEO and Bob Iger took back over. So I don't know if we'll get a dip again, and I'm not gonna chase it. FAZ, again, we talked about the financial sector, so we can see, FAZ has come way down. It's got, very nice risk reward, way up to the 30s. You can see they've been running it up. There was a slight dip back in August. That would be, the dips in FAZ would be the peaks in the financial industry. So you can see they've been running it up for quite a while. If we get a bottom and a turn, you can see around, the previous low, 1638 or so is a support. Looks like there's support around 1660, but it does look like it's breaking down below that. So again, you can see the previous bottom was 1577. So somewhere, below 16 would be nice. Whenever that does turn, then again, we'd like to go short on the financials. Seagate, again, we've been watching for a while. It's run up a bit. I'd like it to come back down. This is a long-term turnaround play. You can see the due diligence video that we did a while back. So you can listen to that while we're watching Seagate. What do we think of Seagate in terms of a buy, a long-term play? And again, UVXY is the leveraged long on the VIX, and it's going to keep declining. Even if the VIX is flat, UVXY will probably decline because of decay, because it's a leveraged inverse ETF. So again, you want to watch the VIX to determine where the bottom on that is. So I hope that helps. So let's look at our bullpen stocks. Again, we moved BDRY up from the bullpen, put it in our real-time watch list. If you're new to our channel, the concept of the bullpen are ones we're not watching in real time. I have automated systems that run against the ones in the real-time watch list. Send me real-time alerts on those. The ones in the bullpen I don't run against. I just revisit them at the end of the day. If their setup has improved, we'll put them in the game like we just did with BDRY. If they've run away or broken down, we'll take them out of the bullpen. And then new ones we find that look like they may present attractive setups in the near term, we'll add to the bullpen. Now, This FPAY Flex Shopper is a little bit of an exception. I will let you listen to this due diligence video on FPAY Flex Shopper. I think I mentioned this in last week's game plan that we saw it. It popped up on a query as being a potentially profitable bottoming play, and I really felt like I needed to do the due diligence to make sure it wasn't some kind of value trap or there wasn't some kind of trap in FPAY. I'll let you guys listen to the due diligence video and hear my further thoughts on that. But for now, we're going to put it in our watch or in our bullpen and keep an eye on it. And again, in the due diligence video, you'll hear more about what I'm looking for in that and when it would be a potential buy. You also see some articles here that they missed on earnings their last quarter, and so it's their last quarter was not profitable. So again, we're putting in the bullpen. I'm not going to buy it right away. And again, you can listen to that bonus due diligence video via the link in the notes. And hear more about FPAY. Nail, we've been watching for a while, talked about home builders, the home building sector being in recession. This is a bull, so we're waiting for that sector to bottom and then, potential future turnaround. I know several of our other BeachBum traders said they were also interested in Nail as well. So we're keeping an eye on that. Again, we want to find a bottom and then when it turns back up. So we'll take a look at those in Webull. Just a real quick reminders, they're still offering 12 free stocks in Webull. So if you're not already using Webull, you'll see in many of our videos, we do our market analysis, we do due diligence, we do most of our trading in Webull. It's our favorite platform. So if you're not already using Webull, you can get 12 free stocks right now. Just by opening an account, you can get 2, each valued up to $300. If you put any amount, deposit any amount, even a penny, you can get up to 10 more free stocks, each valued up to $3,000. So again, if you're not already using Webull, the other nice thing about Webull is you can trade from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. And there are some nice opportunities that sometimes pop up, at 4 a.m. or before 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or before market open when the other platforms will let you trade, and you can jump on those opportunities using Webull. So. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. You guys are having good conversations. Love to see our BeachBum traders helping each other out, having a good discussion. Got a great community here. Again, if you're not already a member of our community, we'll hope you will join us, subscribe to our channel, join us in our Discord. Again, you can find the link to our Discord in the description box below. Our Discord's free to join. And again, we can carry on these conversations after the live streams, etc., in our Discord. So here's FPAY, and again, you see it kind of bottomed and consolidated, got pretty attractive. You can see the risk reward's pretty attractive, goes up over 3. So when this popped up on my queries, I thought that looked interesting. So I really wanted to do my due diligence on that. And again, you can hear more about my thoughts on FPAY and what I'm looking for in terms of FPAY in that due diligence video. But we're going to keep an eye on it. And again, I'm looking for certain events to occur before I would go long on FPAY. Again, here's Nail on the home builders. So we see, it bottomed out back in June or so. It's been running, bouncing around a little bit. Right now it's a little high. So I'd like it to come down. So if we get a retracement in Nail, then we'd go long. If it keeps running away, then I'll let that go. So. Okay, so now we'll look at our various ETFs. If there's a particular category that anyone wants to see, please throw that up in the chat. Another benefit of being a Patreon member is you have access to a folder that includes a spreadsheet. We also have the intent to add more similar tools, etc., to the Patreon folder. And again, if you're a Patreon member, then you have access to this 24/7. And again, this is a combination of Google Finance functions, so like the high and the low for the day, price changes, etc. 52-week high and low are Google Finance functions, but the support and the resistance and bottoms and tops, we recalculate based on price levels at the end of each day and automatically update this spreadsheet with via our automation with that information. So let me grab a quick drink, and again, I'll check the chat, see if there's any categories people want to see, and then we'll whip through them and see if we find any other opportunities. Okay, so pretty much at the end of the day, after this has been updated, I go through it. I'm looking for, 3 or 4 greens. The greens indicate a risk reward profile of 2-to-1 or better. So I'm looking for those that have, 2-to-1 or better risk reward profile, both from a near term support resistance, 52-week, and bottom to top. It would be the ideal situation. And then I look at the support level and where it currently is and say, okay, is that something I want to put in the bullpen, put in the watch list, whatever. So you can see where Lab U is, which is the long on biotech. So if they were to push biotech down, that would become attractive. The risk reward profile is nice, but I would rather have it down in the 4s. And we might get that, if they, depending on what they're doing with trying to run tech up or down. Yin and yang are the long and short on China, and there's a lot of volatility there. Some of these are great day trading pairs, breakout trade. We're primarily swing traders, but if you're a day trader, a breakout trader, momentum trader, I'll try to point out some of these pairs that offer great opportunities. Yin and yang's a great pair. Again, on any given day, one or the other's running up and the other's running down. Is China in lockdown or reopening? So again, good pair for day trading. We talked about some of the commodities. So, I spent through looking at some of the commodities like copper. We will look at silver, gold just briefly. There's also the pairs to trade the various indices. So you can trade the Dow, short or long. Again, it's not showing either as being terribly attractive right now. Here's BDRY. So you can see the risk reward profile is pretty nice. Again, we'd like it around 675. Here's all the energies. Fang U and Fang D, again, kind of keep an eye on them, but neither one of those is terribly attractive right now. Here's FAZ, the financial guy. You see he's very close to where that support level is. It's not quite a 2-to-1, but close. And the 52-week is about 2, so... You can see all the different ways to play gold and silver. Again, they're very volatile. Those are good day trade opportunities. We tend to use GDXU for longing gold. There's several to short. You can use dust. That's got a decent decent risk reward profile, just not attractive right now. Natural gas, again, we've talked about numerous times, long and short, long boil, cold short, again, great day trading. This guy can swing 10% a given day, and you can make a lot of money if you're nimble using boil and cold. Here's the long and shorts with on the NASDAQ. Again, neither one of them, well, the long's a little bit attractive, but I'd like it down in the 16s. So when that, gets down, then we might go along the NASDAQ if they push it down. Oil, and we talk about long and short, gush and drip, long, gush, drip, short, or long UCO, short SCO. And again, if you're using this ETF spreadsheet, you can very quickly see which one's the most attractive. So, right now UCO is... yeah, UCO looks pretty good, SCO, so either one of them is reasonably attractive. And again, on any given day, whichever direction oil's going, you can pick the right ETF to make money on that move. Semiconductors, SOXL and SOXS, I think we mentioned we would talk about those today. Yesterday. So SOXS, I'd like around 26. That's obviously more attractive. They've been pushing semiconductors up, so it's a little bit above where I'd like it. SOXL, if they push it way down, down to 6, then longing semiconductors. But again, right now, it looks like the short may be more attractive if they run semiconductors up, particularly with tech. Good morning, Ricky Kahn. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. Again, silver, opportunities in silver, it tends to be pretty volatile, so you can long silver with AGQ, you can short silver with ZSL. So again, both of them are reasonably attractive, but they're above a support that I would like to swing them. But again, day trading opportunities, there's plenty. Here's the solars. We saw sector rotations in and out of solar, so you can use raised or tan. And, VTI is pretty high right now. That's the total market. So we're selling cash secured puts, right just above that support, 175. So again, another thing I'm using these support values for is to figure out what strike price I want to sell a cash secured put. Is I want to sell it, around where I would buy it anyway at a support level. So again, I'm using these support levels to determine what strike price I want to sell a cash secured put if it's against an ETF. TMF and TLT, you see they're just kind of, they're up a little bit. You see they were down on Friday. Uranium hasn't been it's been running up and down, but not horribly attractive. I have looked at the individual uranium stocks recently, and they're just kind of, floating in the middle. So nothing terribly attractive right now. And here's UVXY. So again, the most recent support is 712. But again, I would prefer to watch the VIX to determine where that bottom is. And again, another way you could long the VIX is VXX, but you can see the risk reward for UVXY is a little bit better than VXX. So that's why we're looking at using UVXY to long. We typically use SVXY to short the VIX. So if we were to happen to get a pop on the Fed interest rate decision, if you've been around for a while, you probably know one of my favorite trades is to short the VIX on a pop using SVXY. So. Okay, so if anybody's got any other categories they want to see ETFs on, please throw them up in the chat real quick. Otherwise, I'll jump into other trade ideas and strategies and take any questions that you may have. So in terms of shopping list stocks, yesterday we talked about, how do you find these Cyber Monday stock market sales, or how do you find, stocks on sale in general? and I included these videos in the notes yesterday as well as in the comments. I thought I would put them back in here just in case to make it easy reference and in case anybody happens to have not seen that yet. So here's a couple ways to find, cheap value stocks, cheap profitable stocks. And then yesterday I showed you in FinViz how I combined the parameters from those queries in a FinViz screener to find cheap profitable value stocks, and how you can find stock market stocks on sale, whether it be Cyber Monday or just in general, using the FinViz screeners and these various parameters. So I hope that helps. So continuing to talk, in terms of your shopping list, anything you're going to buy, please don't get hurt from the continuing fallout from the FTX bankruptcy. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. You can listen to my short video, which is a snip from, I think, last week's game plan. Again, we don't want to see anybody get hurt from this. Also, zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. You can listen to these videos. Some are still unlisted. Don't get caught in a zombie company or a zombie ETF, particularly in a rising interest rate environment that we're either in or going in a recession. We're still in high inflation, so make sure your portfolio is inflation proof. Suitable for raising interest rates. Even if the Fed only goes 50 in December, it's still going to be rising interest rates. And whether they go 50 or 75, we're still in a rising interest rate environment. And we're either in or going in a recession. So again, a lot of information. You can use that information to, make sure that your shopping list, any stocks you're getting into, are suitable for their current environment. You're not getting stuck into something that's, not going to survive or not do well in the current macro environment. So, okay, some of our trade ideas. We started talking about this last week about selling cash secured puts. We've been, as you saw in some of the trades that we've executed this week, we're continuing to test this. I'm, using relatively small sizes in only like a month out. So typically right now we're selling December expirations. I may start looking at going a little bit farther. And we talked about some of the pros and cons. Again, you can see by selling these cash secured puts and then buying them back, we're generating some additional revenue in the difference in the premium. And some of the cons is that it ties up the cash. If it's a cash secured put, which is what you would have to do in a retirement account, then that cash is tied up as long as that cash secured put has been sold. Now, once you buy it back, then that cash gets freed up again, and then you can rinse and repeat. So that's kind of our strategy right now, is the rinse and repeat, small profits, and learning how this works, so that we can generate more revenue more efficiently. So, the part of the reason we started doing this is, if there's aren't good long opportunities, aren't good swing opportunities, and we're sitting on a bunch of cash, then how can we make money with that cash? Because it's better than just sitting on the cash. So again, you can see our tests. I'm looking for other optionable stocks for which we have or had standing good cancel buys, like BTI. I'm looking for others for which we may want to sell cash secured puts at, a support price. So welcome, Kyle. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you again. So, anything on your shopping list that's optionable might be a good candidate for this. It's something that you would buy anyway if it reached that price, that support price that you want. Another thing I'm looking at doing is trying to figure out how to automatically run a scan after market close for optionable stocks for which to sell cash secured puts with a strike less than or equal to the buy price and a good ROC, return on invested capital. So a buy price is, where would I currently buy it? And then I would sell a cash secured put, either at that buy price if there's a strike, or just below it, or close to it, just above, just below that buy price. One of the questions I have to figure out is how to calculate the return on invested capital. So, if you're selling a cash secured put against something and you get assigned, you're going to own, 100 shares per contract. So I have to calculate the cost of that capital versus, what kind of premium am I receiving for tying up my cash for that period of time, and find again the best opportunity. So I've got a lot of work to do to understand where the best opportunities are here, and we're learning, we're testing, we're learning how to do this cash secured puts stuff. We've been doing covered calls for quite a while, kind of understand how that works, and we do the same thing. So, and in my humble opinion, doing these option strategies, selling and buying back covered calls and or cash secured put options, may be a good trading strategy to make money trading in the choppy market. So lately, the market's been oscillating up and down. It's been volatile, but it's not really trending, doesn't have a lot of direction. And I think this is a good way to generate some additional income when, longer term swings aren't really going anywhere. Again, it's choppy. We can get some short swings, but again, it's not trending. It's range bound, choppy markets, and I think doing these kinds of option strategies seem to be another way to generate additional income. So again, we're going to keep learning, keep testing. We'll keep sharing with you what we learn, and lessons learned. Hopefully, help you be able to take advantage of these option strategies if you're interested in them. And we do have options playlists, so I was going to copy the various videos we have on selling covered calls. We've got them on how to do this in Webull. We've got how to chart options in Webull, etc., as well as selling covered calls in E-Trade. I'll probably do some videos as soon as I can find the time to do it on what we're learning in terms of the cash secured puts. As we get better at it, I'll try to make some videos on what we've learned in terms of how to sell cash secured puts most efficiently. So again, more videos to come. So Kyle says the wheel is amazing. You're missing out if not using it. Can you please explain what you, and I may have missed your comment, but could you explain what you mean by the wheel? And you can always, follow up with comments in the Discord. If I missed your comment again, I apologize, but that sounds very interesting, and I would like to hear more about what you're referring to. So thank you for posting that, Kyle. And again, it let us know what you're talking about and how we can take advantage of it. Oh yeah, selling puts and calls. Yep, that's what we're trying. So, does anybody else have any other questions, comments that you would like us to cover today? Again, otherwise, you can always post comments under the video. You can hit us up in the Discord. Please tag us so that we're notified, of something we need to take a look at. Again, the invite to the Discord's in the description box below. The main channel is the Beach Party. We have other channels with various tools, platforms, strategies, etc. But the main hangout is the Beach Party. So please join us in the Discord. Again, you can find it's free to join. The invite's in the description box below. And I'll try to get it out in the chat as well again. And you can also, again, find it on the link section on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, at any time as well. Okay, so if no one else has any further questions right now, again, hit us up in the Discord. our Facebook group, any of our social media. If you have any further questions, you want us to take a look at a stock, doing due diligence on a stock, anything that we can do to help you succeed in your trading, just let us know. If you have any recommendations for improvement on our game plan live streams, any of our videos, etc. We always love to hear feedback. What do you think of all of this? How can we improve? How can we add value to you to help you succeed in your trading, as that is our objective for doing all of this. So let us know how we can help. And otherwise, good luck and have a great trading week for this week of November 28th through December 2nd. Thank you all for joining us. Good luck and have a great trading week. Bye.